just finished Dave Nodon's tutorial on a person follower, and now I'm going to apply it to a car. Oh, cars don't use basic coordinate movement, they use acceleration and steering and angles. That's a little bit more difficult. Hi everyone. Today we're going to be making a car object that follows the person Nodon object around the map. We're starting with a basic person with a left stick controlling their movement and their right controlling the camera. We're going to add location sensors to both the person and the car so we can keep track of their positions. The car will also be getting an angle sensor. We're going to need the angle between the person and the car and the angle that the car is currently traveling in. So to get that in-between angle, we're going to add two subtraction calculate nodons. We're going to subtract the person nodon's x and z from the car's x and z coordinates. The plan here is to get the angle between the person and the car. Then get the car's angle and subtract it. That difference will tell us which direction the car should be steering in. To do that, we're going to use a position to angle nodon. We're going to connect the x result to the vertical position and the z result to the horizontal position. Then we'll add an angle difference nodon to get the difference between these two angles. The first will be the car's angle sensor position on the y-axis. In this case, the y-axis rotation angle is the general angle of the car that we're looking for. The second will be the position between the person and the car that we just determined. The position can be a positive or negative number, so we're going to run it through an absolute value nodon. We'll take the result from the absolute value and see if it's greater than 15. If our trajectory angle and the car angle differ by more than 15 degrees, then we want the car to steer in such a way that it would correct that difference. So if it's over 15, we're going to multiply it by the angle difference. The result can go directly into the steering wheel input. That's it for steering. The car will now always turn towards the player based on these angles. We'll put in a basic 1 constant on the acceleration so you can see that it's working. So now the car will follow the player and always move at a constant 1 speed. He's doing a lot of spinning and moving erratically. We're going to add an acceleration mechanism that makes the car move a little more intelligently. We're going to start with these subtracted positions and run them through absolute value nodons. This should give us an absolute distance between the car and the person. We can plug both of these into a map. The input range can be between 0 and 10, and the output range between 0 and 0.8. Now we're going to add a comparison node on so we can check if the distance between the person and the car is greater than a specific value. In this case, we'll set the value to 0.35. If it is greater than that value, then we'll multiply it by the absolute distance so that the car will continue to accelerate. We'll connect that to the acceleration, get rid of our constant 1, and we should be done. Now the car will try and follow the player through tight corners and at a more manageable pace. You might be able to find an acceleration mechanism that uses fewer nodons and works a little bit better for your game, so try and experiment. Our bonus objective is to show you how to easily add more cars. You can see that between the person and its location sensor and the car movement logic, there's a pretty clean break. So we're going to select everything and move it over to the right. And we can use a simple setup with wormhole entrances and exits. I usually use wormhole nodons when I want to drag connections across the screen and it not get messy, but they're also great for use cases like this, where you want to cleanly make multiple connections in different places. And it works just the same. Now there are 2 cars following you. Our second bonus objective is to add a cannon. Now there are a lot of ways to go about this. I just wanted to show a pretty simple one. I'm just going to make our person a little bit faster. Add the cylinder that's going to make up the cannon. We can make it visible and movable. The Y scale can be set to 1.5 for now, and the connection points can be Y negative and Z positive. So that's not quite right, but I guess if you wanted to add a rocket on the back of your car or something in the rear, you would do that instead. We're going to fix our connection points to Y negative and Z negative, so that it's facing the front of the car, and we'll make it black. If you wanted to make better looking turrets or cannons, you could probably use a free slide connector to place them where it would make more sense. Finally, we're going to add the launch node on and connect it to the cylinder. The launch direction in this case will be Y positive, because that is the top of the cylinder that we're facing forward. We'll leave them movable and visible with a much faster launch speed of 100 and a faster launch interval of 0.25. Make them a little bit smaller. And there we go, a following car with a turret. Now there are a lot of things you can do with a following car. You can probably just make the car invisible and add a following object or something else that fits your game better.